The roots of Waldorf education are found in the philosopher Rudolf Steiner, who once said, "The human being is a threefold being of spirit, soul, and body, whose capacities unfold in three developmental stages on the path to adulthood: early childhood, middle childhood, and adolescence." Rudolf Steiner. Hello everyone, my name is Julia, and today I'm going to be informing you on the topic of Waldorf educational schooling methods. Waldorf is an educational philosophy founded by Rudolf Steiner that strives to educate the whole child, the head, the heart, and the hands. To accomplish this, the Waldorf school system teaches specifically to each developmental stage. Firstly, early childhood, secondly, middle childhood, and lastly, adolescence. As we begin this journey on development through Waldorf methods, we firstly start with early childhood, which focuses on the growth of the physical foundation. The importance here is protecting the building up of this foundation and that there is no rush into academic learning. So for this reason, beginning in kindergarten and in Waldorf kindergartens, there is no academic instruction. This means no reading, no writing, no academic anything. It is solely based upon building a foundation that the children are becoming in touch with themselves. Instead, the teachers focus on nourishment both physically and emotionally. This is through greetings every single day at the door, singing to the children. It is built upon things like imaginative and creative play, cooking, storytelling, and just really the child becoming in touch with themselves and their physical bodies and their emotions and how it works. For this reason, there is also 2 years of kindergarten instead of 1. And also beginning in kindergarten begins the Waldorf philosophy that there is no media. So no media, including television, cell phones, anything, that they are building this foundation of creativity from within instead of any outside sources that could be combobulating that creativity. Once the physical body is once the physical body is developed and understood, secondly comes middle childhood, when the focus is on independence and understanding of the world as they shift from being a child to a tweenie. Academic learning is now introduced into the classrooms, and this is taught in the order of speaking to writing to reading, exactly in that order. This is different from traditional schooling because they actually won't even start reading until about 3rd grade. Astrid Stegman, the director of Rudolf Steiner Training Program, she's also been a teacher for over 16 years and has taught in many different countries, once says that at this point in time, the child is led gradually from a very strong and joyful oral language experience to the written sounds and words, and finally to reading. So the environment and process that the children are learning is essential at this time as well. When the children are welcomed into 1st grade, they are given the teacher and the classmates that they will carry on until 8th grade. So from 1st to 8th grade, they have the same teacher and the same classmates. This really gives the children a sense of stability and security, but also gives them a sense of family for those that may not have it. It really brings a family unit aspect to the whole scenario. And when they're being introduced to this academic learning at this time, it is introduced through main lesson, which is when one object is the focus for several weeks. And this allows for the teacher to really create several activities around this subject. And they also put everything that they are learning about this subject into what we call a main lesson book, which is actually my visual aid for today. I brought in several of my main lesson books. I was a Waldorf student from 4th to 8th grade, so I brought mine. And these activities that the teacher will find to surround the subject can often be spent outdoors or on field trips, projects, art, specialty classes. So whatever the subject may be, you're singing songs from that time period in music, or learning about the type of art that was being drawn. It really just brings you to a deeper connection of the subject that you're learning on a whole different level, and this is called main lesson. Then independence blossoms to a new phase, which is lastly adolescence. This is focused around the fostering of students as they are on their road to self-discovery. Astrid, the well-known teacher and expert that I mentioned earlier, says that the underlying goal is to awaken wonder and develop appreciation, respect, and moral responsibility with each subject presented to the children. It's really an opportunity for them to discover who they are with these really important values as their foundation. Cause and effect thinking are also developed between the ages of 11 and 12, and this brings about a curiosity of the sciences, which is why they become a central point in grade 6 and up. Constantly changing, constantly learning about everything. And then at the end of 8th grade, they are able to produce a 8th grade project where they can really take that self-discovery to a whole new level, discovering something that they are really passionate about and really interested in, and they present it to everyone. In conclusion, Waldorf education seeks to enrich the whole child through each of Waldorf Steiner's developmental stages of, firstly, early childhood, secondly, middle childhood, and lastly, adolescence. And I haven't added it yet, but I'm going to add a quote into the very end. I'm just trying to make my whole speech kind of run smoother. So I'm going to add a quote in at the end, and I will also have a slideshow. Thank you.